This video is going to run through how to set up and use extra content sections, which can be used to create a full one-page theme or to simply add some extra content to different pages throughout a multi-page site. So first thing, let's go in and just create a new page, sample page. I'll add some content in here. I'm also going to turn off comments for the page and publish. Let's view the page, and you'll see we just got a basic header, content, and the footer's down here. Let's say we want to add extra content to this. The first thing we need to do is create a custom menu. So I'll go into Appearance Menus, create a new menu, sample menu. Now the reason I use the menu system for this feature is that it's already built with the ability to add any post type you have on your site into a structure and reorganize. So there's no point in reinventing the wheel as far as that goes. So you create the menu, say you want to add different pages on there, the About page, Expertise page. Well, let's just do that for now. Let's keep it simple. Then you can reorganize them, hit save. So the menu is created, but now we gotta let our theme know we want to use that menu for the extra content. Currently we do not have single page settings enabled, so we can go to Appearance, Theme Settings, and Content Settings. And we'll scroll down to the Elements section, and we'll find the extra content fields. And right now I'll use the outer field and just select Sample Menu. So now you see the sample menu set as for the extra content. I'll go back to the sample page and refresh, and you'll see both the About page and Expertise page content are on our page. One also nice feature is that there's a little edit page link for each section. So if you want to adjust the About page quickly, click that link and it'll directly open up the About page that you can edit. So that's the basics for setting up extra content. Now we set up the extra content on the global content settings page. So this extra content right now will show up on every single page on our site. If we want to limit that to only show up on pages, we go back to the general settings, global content sections, and enable pages. I'll go back to content settings. First I will remove it from the default settings, so there's no extra content displayed. Select pages and apply it to pages. So now this extra content will display on every single page, but no other post types on Apex. Additionally, if you only want it to display on the sample page, you can either set this back to none or disable the global page settings and go back to the general settings, back down to content settings sections, and enable the single post sections for pages. Now once the single post sections are enabled, we can go back into our page and you'll see that the Apex page settings now has all the same settings as the global settings. So we go into Elements and set the extra content to the sample menu. So just beware of the different layers as far as where you're setting your settings at. So now that we've seen how to add extra content to a page, let's see what it looks like when the page has a sidebar on it. So on the sample page, I'll enable a right sidebar with the default width, and I will set the sidebar, the widget area, to use the primary widget area. So here you see we got the sample page content in the sidebar, but the extra content is pushed all the way below the sidebar. This is what happens when you have the extra content set up in the outer section. If we set that back to none and use the inner extra content and hit update, you'll see that the extra content fits inside the content wrapper of this sample page, so it flows a little better with the sidebar. So it's really kind of up to you how you want to lay out your page in that respect. Now the next part of creating a one-page theme is adding scrolling down to your sections. You can only have one main menu applied to your site. So let's go back into the menu, and we'll set the primary menu to be the sample menu. If you go back on our sample page, you'll see that the main menu has been adjusted and just has the About page and Expertise page. Now if you click these right now, it'll link to the single pages of those pages. So we need to go back into the menu and set a hashtag value, which will be the post ID of the sample page. So click the post ID up here in the URL of the edit page, copy it, go back into the menus, and there's a hashtag link field where you set the sample page post ID at. Hit save menu. So now when we go back to the sample page and refresh, if we click these links, it'll scroll to that particular section on the page. Now another aspect of these menus, you see the link and the eye icon, which is the visibility icon. This allows you to use the same menu for extra content and the menu, but yet not have to have a link or that content at the same time. So let's say I want both these content sections, but I only want the Expertise link to actually show up in the menu. If I disable the link and hit save, refresh my page, only the Expertise shows up as a link in the menu, but we still have both of the content sections displayed on the page. Alternately, you can disable the content on the page if you want both these to show up in a menu but only want one to show up as an extra content section. So I disable the visibility on the Expertise. I'll refresh the page and you see we have both the menu items, but now we only have the About content showing on the page. So and that is how our main menu is set up when you import the sample content. You see all the different icon toggles. So this main menu is set as the main menu for the whole site, but it's also set as the extra content section on the home page. This just adding the two icon toggles just allows you to not have to make multiple menus for doing the same thing. So hopefully that makes sense. Let us know again if you need further explanation on anything, or if you feel we're missing out on something in this documentation. Thanks again for your purchase.